Hi, Earth Signs. I'm going to do your love reading for the last week of March. So we're going to go ahead and jump into your reading. And what you ended up getting for your main message from your oracle card is the King of Fairy Realm. Okay, so it says renewal doesn't just happen. You must take a journey into the shadow self, the dark abyss, facing all the aspects of yourself that bring up challenges, fears, and everything you have buried deep within. You must clear the way for new life. It's in clearing our past that we can create a path to renewed future. Okay, so hopefully in some ways this message really does resonate with you. Um, because the past couple of readings for the earth signs have been, it's been a little bit rough. Okay, so there's been something happening in March where spirit is guiding you to make new changes, to think in new ways in relationships, to let go of old things that are not serving you anymore in relationships. And it seems like for earth signs there's like a new direction for you guys. There's something brand new headed your way, but in order for you guys to go into that opportunity of newness, there's something that you need to work on within yourselves. And I think it last week or maybe the week before where your main message had to do with working on yourself, giving yourself self love, working on your confidence, and realizing what your worth is. So now this is asking you to work on your shadow self, the things that you really do keep hidden, the stuff that's a little bit darker and, hidden within you. So these are the areas that, bring a lot of challenges into your life when it concerns relationships and even things that, make you scared. But there's just stuff that's like buried within you. But all that stuff has to go. So Spirit is telling you that everything that is within you that that needs to be worked on, get rid of it. So that way something brand new can happen either in your current relationship, upcoming new relationship. For those of you who are single and wanting something, there's some things that you need to work on before a new relationship appears into your life, so that way when it does come you are totally ready for it. Okay, so let's see what's coming in for you in your past. Okay, so in your past you got the Wheel of Fortune. So it seems like in the past you were feeling like everything was going the way it was supposed to. Your karma was good within the relationship. If you're single, you felt like, things were kind of going the way you wanted them to. You're good on your own. Luck was on your side. Things were just flowing for you. Okay. Let's see what else came out with it. You have the King of Pentacles, and there you are. So you were just in your own element. You're being yourself. You were content. You were happy. You were taking care of yourself, your home. If you have children and family, you were doing all of that. You were able to provide, and you had growth in the past. There is something, that was going on with maybe a current relationship in the past where things were in the right direction and it was going the way you wanted them to. So let's see what else. So you also have the 401. So yeah, definitely you had something good. Excuse me. So you had a good foundation within the relationship. For those single ones, my single friends, you guys had, great outings with friends and families. You had good things going on for you in the past where you're able to celebrate and, have a good time. You're probably joining other people to do fun things. But for those of you who are in a current relationship in the past, you were, having a good, stable home. Things were going the way they needed to go. So yeah, so everything seemed to be flowing pretty good. And I mean, look at, you even have the sign. So you, in the past, you were extremely happy. You were content. Everything was going exactly as planned. You had the house, the home, everything. And if you weren't living with a person, you're just excited to have that person in your life. Or if you are single, you're very content with who you were, with everything that was happening in your life, your friends, your family, work, everything was flowing. And you're just happy. So let's see what is coming in for you in the present. Okay. So in the present, you have the Seven of Wands. Right now, it seems like there is conflict. So at one point, everything seemed to be good. You're having everything, everything flowing the way it was supposed to in a relationship, or the person that you're interested in, they made you happy, or you being single was a good thing. You're happy and everything was going great. And now in the present, a hiccup has happened where there is conflict between you and somebody else. And maybe there's like, not seeing eye to eye in certain situations with this person. Or maybe there's a lot of arguments. Something happened to put you both in a place where you are both fighting one another. Or it could just be that neither you are receiving each other in the right way. Okay, so just remember that the message is talking about your shadow self, the things that you need to, deal with concerning yourself. So if there was some personal stuff going on with you, it could have came out, like, not that you told them what was going on with you, but just the stuff that is hidden within you, your shadow self, the things that you have dealt with for so long, it's bubbling and it's coming up to the surface. And maybe the decisions or how you talk to the person, it's like muddying up your conversations. It's muddying up your relationship with this person. It's bringing it damper, and it's causing conflict in the relationship. And if you really don't feel like your shadow self is the problem, maybe, Spirit is saying that there's just something in this relationship that is old, that needs to be, looked at, realized, and accepted that, okay, this situation is the way it is right now, but something new needs to come out of this. So there needs to be some changes here, and this conflict needs to go. So yeah, so what's coming next is the Six of Swords. So it's like you're understanding that you need to move forward where there is no more conflict. There is no more arguments. There isn't a hiccup in the relationship. And mentally, you wanting to be free. You're wanting to be at peace. And you want to be in a place where you're back here being content. But if you notice, she's still kind of in the, in the rough waters. You see the waves there? And what she's doing, she's sending off. There's somebody in that boat. It's somebody who passed away. And so how I see this, because remember, every deck card is different, even though they do have the same titles, the same names, but sometimes they add a little bit of a different twist to the card. And what I'm seeing here, because the swords are there, this has to do with your thoughts, how you think deeply. And what she's doing is that she's setting something that has been heavy on her mind, that's been bothering her, there's been a weight. She is letting it die, and she's letting it go. Whatever has been stressing you deeply mentally, and it's been spreading into your heart, it's been spreading to other areas of your life, your soul, you're wanting to just set it sail and let it go, and let it move on from you, and no longer carry it in your thoughts. You're ready for that to move forward. Okay, and so that could also has to do with your shadow self. You know that there's something going on here mentally where you need the release, and you're no longer wanting these conflicts with this person. All right, so let's see what's next. Okay, so here's the King of Swords. King of Swords is a king that has clarity. They don't cut corners. They don't make excuses for anything. they use their wisdom in making decisions. They see things clearly because they're not letting their emotions get in the way. They're not letting their emotions block what they need to do. And they're the ones that, once they see something, once they think a specific way, if they have to make some cuts, they will do that, but they will come out and rule the best way they can and serve justice the best way they can, but without being emotional about the situation. They're using their mental powers to deal with the situation. And so you know that right now at this place in time, you know what needs to happen, and you're gaining clarity in that. And you're going to go ahead and make the moves that you need to make. But before you make them, you're going to be sitting there and you're going to be gaining the clarity about this person and what needs to be done, especially if you guys are in constant conflict with one another. And, if you're single, it could be that your person of interest, like, there's something about them that, you try to talk to them, you try to flirt with them, or you try to do something specific, but it just doesn't turn out correctly. And either they're not looking at your messages, or they're blocking you in some kind of way, or when you talk to them, it seems like something's off. But yeah, and if you notice on the bottom, you see all of that? That's snow. King of Swords is I'm not saying that all air signs are cold, but when it comes down to making a logical decision, they don't care about other people's feelings. They're not worried about it. All they know is the facts. And facts can be super cold. Okay? And so you're taking on this cold approach to the situation. So you already see the conflict. You're wanting for things to just die and move forward as far as your thoughts and how you've been feeling about the whole situation overall. And you're taking on that cold approach to make the right decision in this relationship or with a person of interest. And what you have here is the Five of Pentacles. So, yeah. So this could be that you are deciding to put somebody out in the cold. You are letting them be on their own. If you feel like they're not coming up to your standards or to where you want them to be, you're putting them out, and you have no problem telling them that. You have made a logical decision to let them be on their own. And if it's not that, then it could be that, you are in a place of feeling isolated. Okay, sorry, earth signs. I had to get up and stop because I had to go, put my baby back to bed. Okay, so you probably are going to be feeling isolated, feeling out in the cold from making the decisions that you need to make. And maybe at that moment that you're feeling this way and you're feeling left out because you're going to probably have to detach from the situation, that's when you're going to be dealing with your shadow self. You're going to be looking at things within yourself, not just the other person, but within you. And so Spirit is saying that at that moment that you feel that way, deal with what's going on with you. What took place within you, they had you hanging on to this relationship for so long. Maybe there were signs for a very long time that this is something that, you shouldn't have been in. Or maybe you're wanting in the past to have this beautiful, beautiful relationship. Was it a mask? Was it fake? Did you think at one point, that you had to trick yourself in believing that it was good? Or it could have been that, you were really super happy and things were good, but then something happened somewhere along the way where, things are not what they used to be. And so now you got to take that time to reflect on what has happened and what you need to do with yourself and what is going on with you and how you're handling the whole situation emotionally and mentally. But, you are going to be feeling this way, isolated. And if this is not you, you're going to be putting this person out to feel this way. All right, so let's go ahead and see what's in your future. All right. So yeah, in your future, you have the 5 of Cups. So with all the clarity that you're getting in the present, all the knowledge that you are gaining, the wisdom, you're going to use your wisdom to make a choice. You have decided to walk away from a situation, but it's not even just walking away. Like, this card has to do with somewhat being stuck in your emotions, feeling everything that has happened. Sometimes this card can represent depression over the loss of a relationship, over the loss of the person. You're mourning this person in the future, or will, obviously you will be, if this does resonate with you. But if you notice, like, while he's dealing with his feelings about the whole situation, he is wanting to move forward, because if you notice, he's in front of the cups. Okay, this card is a little bit different from other decks. Usually the person is like within the cups, and the cups are all surrounding him, and there's only 2 in the back, and then the rest that are falling are in front. But if you notice, like, there's no cups in front of him, they're all behind him. So he's already making an effort. He's slowly walking away from the situation, but he keeps looking back, and somehow he's still attached to the situation, and he's still holding on in some ways as he's walking. He's still dwelling on the situation, and he's dwelling on the hurt and everything that happened in this relationship that went wrong. You also have the Lovers. So obviously there was a choice that needed to be made. It may have been a stressful choice, and it may have left you hurting and dealing and, dwelling with the whole emotional situation, and you had to make a choice. You had to do something about it. And I mean, it could have also been that, what caused you the sadness and the hurt was that, your person did allow somebody else to come in. Or they made you feel like they're making a choice and making you feel like you were the option. But, there's a choice here that's going to be made. And the choice is probably going to be to put something to rest. So remember the card over here that's telling you that to reflect on everything within you, and all the things that need to be taken care of, that needs to be put to death, so that way you can have a clear and brand new path that you can walk down. And if you notice, this guy, he is on a path, but he's just still dwelling and looking back. So eventually he's going to get to a place where, okay, he accepts things for what they are, and then eventually he's going to turn around and face forward, and he's going to keep going on his journey and getting away from this. But what he has to do is clear all of this baggage that's back there. He's got to clear it all out, and that's what Spirit is telling you to do. You got to let this thing die, so that way you can have something brand new right in front of you. Either there's some things that need to die within your current relationship, so that way you guys can have a better relationship, something brand new, a new spark within you two. Or the decision could be that you have to separate yourself from this person and let them go, so that way you can transform and you can have your own new path and be called to something different and a totally different relationship. Okay. What's coming in is the Hierophant. So yeah, it's in this case, the way the cards are falling out and I'm feeling my intuition, I feel like this card has to do with right now and the future for you. It has to do with you learning from your past mistakes, learning from this relationship, learning what did not work for you, learning what your part was in the relationship. What failed. What failed here? Was it you? Was it them? Was it both of you? You're going to be gaining so much wisdom that one day you're going to be able to share with others. And if you notice, see that little boy? He is receiving from this man, this older man. Usually, sometimes when you see older people in pictures or drawings, they usually symbolize wisdom, like they know more and they could teach others, younger ones, the new generation. And so you're going to be there to help others that have, that are going through their own hurt or dealing with their own shadow self. You're going to be teaching them how to deal with your own things while dealing with a relationship and love. So you're going to be learning a lot and you're going to be gaining a lot of wisdom. And so along the way in the future, while you're learning and gaining and transforming your life from the inside out, you're not going to be accepting any love. You're going to be completely closed off because now you have the Four of Cups. And in this deck it's different because usually it's a cup being held out by somebody else's hands. In this deck, he's holding it. But look at his eyes. His eyes are shut. He does not want to see what is available to him. There's other cups on the floor and there's one that's shining bright right in his hands, but he is just not ready. He's not ready to see what's in them. So he's taking that opportunity to sit there and collect his thoughts. And when he's ready, he'll open his eyes and pick which cup he wants. And so for you, I would say that this is going to be you taking your time, dealing with your shadow self, dealing with the things that cause so much hurt and pain for you in this relationship. And when you're ready, you're going to be able to choose how you want to deal with the relationship in the future, how you're going to be giving love, how you're going to be doing things differently, and you're going to be deciding what journey in love you're going to be taking. But in the meantime, you're going to be closed off until you are ready to open yourself up to it again. So if this resonated for you, Earth signs, please like and subscribe. I know this reading was a little bit more, it was a little bit tough. But I know things will get better. And, I would say this. It's better to be in a fruitful relationship than a bad one. It's best to just go through the process and learn from the situation and let it go and open up yourself up to something that could be better and more beneficial for you. Okay? So this is all I have for you. You guys take care. Have a good one. Bye.